Hey guys, Rebecca here. I wanted to shoot a quick video after we discussed director hunting on the Zoom yesterday. I know that some people logged in by phone and others were on the Zoom. However, I may have been moving a little quickly and you couldn't see my screen too clearly. So I decided to shoot a quick video. I'm going to try to keep it under 10 minutes. So let's go ahead and dive in. Director hunting. In order for you to go director hunting, you must identify the people in your business who are already binary qualified. Why? Because you cannot become a director if you're not already binary qualified. Total Life Changes only allows you to hit one rank a week. Binary qualification is considered a rank. Therefore, you have to already be binary qualified if your goal is to run director the current week that you're in. So what do? You go ahead on your left hand side after you click on organization, and you're going to scroll down to advanced genealogy report. The reason you're going here is because you want to identify every single person who is in your business that is binary qualified, whether you personally enrolled them or somebody else personally enrolled them. Your job is simply at this point to identify them. So you're going to click on advanced genealogy report. Next, go up to the top and click on show filters. All these different options will pop up. The only one we're concerned with is rank type. Go to the drop down box and click on associate. Associate and binary qualified mean the same exact thing. You're going to click on apply filters. Once you click on apply filters, it takes a second for the system to update, so you do have to wait patiently. I also want you to keep in mind that the Total Life Change system is 2 weeks behind. So when you click on this option, there will probably be some people that show up as an associate, and they probably may have already achieved director. And so I'm positive of that because as I look at this list, I know that Kristen Avery is a director. I know that Latanya is a director. I know that Lorenzo is a director. So you have your list here. I know Bridget and Katie are directors. You have your list here of everyone who is already binary qualified. So when you're sitting there thinking, oh my God, I have nobody to work with, who wants to run to director, this is the first thing that you should be doing. So at this point, you can either write these names down, export them to an Excel document, whatever you want to do, but you have some people to work with. So now that you know who's binary qualified, the next thing is, of course, to get their buy-in. You need to personally pick up the phone, or maybe their sponsor needs to call them. It just depends on the relationship that you have. You need to call these people and say, hey, I know that you're binary qualified. The next step in the game for you is director. Are you interested in running director? Do I have your buy-in? Once they say yes, you then need to identify, where are they? How much volume do they have? What exactly do they need to become director? Personally, I would not bother the person who you're running director to with them trying to figure out that information. As their director, it makes more sense to me that they just go to work and you just tell them which number they need. So how do you do that? How do you calculate volume? Well, that has been an ongoing thing for a lot of people, not being able to calculate the volume. And so what I want to do here is show you how exactly to do that. So to calculate the volume, the first thing you're going to do is go to commissions on the top and then click on carryover volume. If you notice over here on the right, this is what is kind of my sheet of paper. And I'm just going to put the information over here. Now I have 6/24 through 6/30. If you're wondering why that is the first date that I started with, that is the very last date at the top of my carryover volume. Now remember, we said the system is 2 weeks behind. So the system will calculate 6/24 through 6/30. I'm going to help you calculate the 2 weeks that are missing because the system is 2 weeks behind, and then you'll have your current week that you're in. So if you look over here, it says that my total carryover volume is 3,862.25. Now I'm not going to worry about that 0.25. And I'm just going to put in my carryover. So let me change this to LV over here and RV over here. That only makes sense. So now I'm going to put my 3,862. And I have 0 on LV. If you're wondering why do you have 0 on LV and why can't you have carryover on both sides, it's very simple, guys. You cannot get paid and carry volume on both legs. So what happens is, just like we learned before, the system is going to take a snapshot of your legs, your volume, at the end of the week. And so if you go back over here and click on volumes, it's going to show you the ending volumes for various dates. And if you notice, none of my LVs are 0, but if you're wondering why it's 0 over here for carryover, is because I can only receive a pay on my lesser leg and carryover on my power leg. So when the system takes a snapshot of your volume, whichever leg runs the lesser volume, that's what you're going to get paid on. So whatever your rank is, that 10%, 14% that you receive in the binary, it will be off of that lesser number. And then the leg that has the most volume is the one that will have the carryover. So recap real quick. We clicked on commissions at the top. We clicked on carryover volume. We wrote down the last two numbers that were at the top for the highest date. So now I need to calculate the carryover volume for the other 2 weeks, because remember the system is 2 weeks behind, and I need to have my volume for 7/1 through 7/7, and I need my volume for 7/8 through 7/14. So I'm going to go over here and look at the dates. So here is 7/1 through 7/7. My LV was 310 and my RV was 1,140. I got paid off of the volume of 310. So I cannot carry that volume because I got paid off of it. How do we calculate how much volume I have for this week? Simple. We're going to subtract 1,140 minus 310. So when I subtract those two numbers, pulling out my calculator, doing it now, 1,140 minus 310, I get 830. So I got paid on this. So this is going to change to a 0. This was subtracted from this. And so now I have an additional 830 that I am carrying in rollover volume from the week of 7/1 to 7/7, right? So now I go to the next week, which is 7/8 through 7/14. Now this was the week that I hit executive director. Now this week you're probably thinking, well, how did you hit executive director if you only had 5,380 on your left and you had 2,775 on your right? Well, simple. Let's go ahead and add in another row here so that I can do the quick calculation to show you. And then we're almost done. Oop, did that in the wrong place. Insert row above. All right, so now I have 2,775 for that week. Plus I already had this. So if I add the two numbers that I've already had in rollover volume, that calculates to my next week of 3,862 plus 830, that gives me a total of 4,692, right? And then I had 5,380. So if I put my 5,380 over here, and my rollover volume, which was 4,692, I also have to add to this the volume that I had for that week, which was 2,775. So if I add those two together, it gives me a total of RV 7,467. So I was able to hit executive director because I needed to have 5,000 on both sides, and I have 5,380 on one, 7,467 on the other. So now that's how I hit the rank. But now we're trying to calculate, what do I currently have moving forward? So this right here, 5,380 and 7,467, I'm just going to remove the calculation, is what my volume was for this week right here. Now, remember I told you you can only get paid on one leg. So what's going to happen? Like I explained before, the computer is going to take a screenshot of my business of where it ended, which was here. I'm going to get paid off of 5,380, but I have to subtract this number from my RV, and then that is how much volume I have to carry over on RV. So that's 7,467. I'm putting it in my calculator. 7,467 minus 5,380, which gives me 2,087 in carryover. And my left side has gone back to 0. So this is where I'm at currently. However, the week is currently twice. The week is happening right now. So my 0 on my LV is really not a 0 because I have 40 points so far on LV. Woo, woo. And then my RV is currently at 200. So I can change this 0 to a 2 to add in my 200. So as we stand right now, my volume is 40 on my LV and 2,287 on my RV. So I'm hoping that helped you calculate volume. Let me know if it did. I realize that these numbers are a little bigger, and if you're running director, then you're dealing in the 1,000, but nonetheless, the process of how you do it is the same. The last thing that I want to talk about with you guys is PV, this column right here. If you are running director, by minimal, you have to have an 80-point auto ship order. I say just make it 120. Why? Number one, you won't be caught off guard. Number two, if you notice, I had an auto ship on July 1st or whatever my day was, run for the auto ship of 120. You can maintain rank off of your team's auto ship, which is why it is so important that your auto ship is on 120. I say that again. You can maintain rank on your team's auto ship and yours. So while you're getting volume throughout the week, while people are signing up new IBOs, while people are doing customer orders and all that kind of stuff, you want those auto ships to be hitting, 120 here, 120 there. When you have 10 people on 120 auto ship that hits in a week, that's director volume right there. And so it is very important, guys, that we get all of our people to understand. Choose 3 products that you love, get on 120-point auto ship, and teach that to everybody else. So a quick recap, because I think I'm a minute over 10, is very, very simple. You're going to go ahead and director hunt by looking for who's binary qualified by pulling that simple report. After you find out who's binary qualified, get their buy-in to go director. After you get their buy-in to go director, you need to check their volume to see where they are. In order to hit director, they need 1,000 on LV, 1,000 on RV, bare minimum 80-point auto ship, but I recommend 120. And the last piece of advice that I'll give you is, if you guys are placing back office orders, the back office order needs to go to the very bottom of the leg. The lowest person's back office that you can get the username and password for, that is the place where you need to place the order. Why? Because every single person on top of that person, on top of that back office, will carry the volume. And if you have that going on, you now have people who may have been inactive or may have not had a chance to hit director, and when they look up and see those points, you can now have that conversation with them. Hey, you already have 500 points on your right. You already have 800 points on your right. You know what? Your right side is already done. All you have to do is go out and build your left. And guys, that is how you will break director after director after director. And I hope that this training has helped. Give me some feedback. Let me know. Love you guys. Talk to you soon.